The recent two mega conferences of NAM and G7 plus China demonstrated a little bit of this. A delegate from Russia, a deputy minister, told me that only the superpowers can organize such a conference. Uganda is still on the way, but it will soon be there because the base is already there.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the president of the Republic of Uganda, has promised Ugandans that soon Uganda will be a superpower state.
We shall really be a superpower because we are moving towards that.
Welcome. Thank you for choosing Essential Media Uganda. Thank you for being part of this huge family. We are now 5.6 subscribers of family. Thank you so much. Go wena ateyakayo obudde no laba ate no wuliriza ate no subscribinga sako no kusharinga. Now the story. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni kulwokuna yali alina address jawa ku libana Uganda bena era nategeza nti Uganda kati wetwogerera enatera okufuuka super power. What does it mean? Tino Uganda kati erina obusobozi okwetongola oba okola ku bintu byayo nga teringiridde oba nga tetunulidde mawanga malala ga Kirimani. Kino nno kyazeewo olw'okuba nti no Uganda yasobodde okutegeka enkuŋŋaana 2 ez'omudiringwana te zonna ne zibeera successful. Tulina olukuŋŋaana olwabadde olwa Non-Aligned Movement era nga President Museveni kati ye chairman walo era nga agenda kufugira oba agenda kubeera mu ntebe eno emyaka 3 paka 2027. Niwabeerawo n'olukuŋŋaana olwa G77 plus China. Olwo nno nga nalwo lwayindira ennaku 2 mu nnyonnyomwano mu Uganda era nga ba president abawerako nga 16 bali mu Uganda muno ba prime ministers sako n'aba delegates bangi kuba at least 1918 delegates were in Uganda and kwabo kwaliko ba president sako ba prime minister ne ba vice president era ngo enkuŋŋaana zino zaagenda bulungi. Kati nno Museveni uyamala okwasibwa chairman ye chairman wa G77 agenda kutwala omwaka mugumu paka mwaka ogujja ate ye chairman owa NAM Non-Aligned Movement era nga ku mutebe agenda kubaako paka 2027. Kitegeeza ki Museveni alikoma mu 2026 yagala kkiriza lekayo era nga kati yeetegese wotunula engeri President Museveni gyali okubamu enkuŋŋaana ze oba gyali okubamu addresses ze ekiruubirirwa aluubirwa 2026 entebe agikomamu paka 2031 ate nga I promise you oba nkusuubiza oba nkakasa Museveni ajja kuwangula akalulu ajja kuwangula aba opposition nabo nga nabo ate beetegese okulaba nga bamujja mu ntebe ng'ate waliwo ne mutabani we alinze nga ono nno ye Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Kati no President Museveni we yabadde awa engeri Uganda gye zeekulaakulanamu munono GDP mwotadde ebyenfuna ebyamakolero kwegamba enkulaakulana yagambye wow Uganda eri ready era nga soon mujja kuba nga muli super power. Jjukira tujjukire nti Uganda ekyalwana nnyo okgenda mu middle income status nga mwanga agatuliraanye agamu gaatuleka tukyali bannampalujjega oba tukyali abo wansi abakyabalirwa mu nsi esinga obwavu. Naye Museveni yavuddeyo n'atukakasa nti kino nno emirimu gyeyongedde mu Uganda. Waliwo amakampuni agatandise okukulaakulana. Yawaddeyo kampani ya Sudiru eyakoze emunyonyo enkuŋŋaana zino gye zaabadde n'awa UPDF gundi construction brigade eyo nno nga yakoze ekisaawe ky'entebe yeryokukola n'enguudo za Kampala. So n'agamba nti Uganda titukyetaaga kati essaawa yonna tugenda kuba nga tufuuka bannantameggwa oba bannantawunyikamu era nga tujja tusobola okwekolera ebintu byaffe. Tujjukire tino tulinamu ebintu bingi bye tuli okukolera amakolero gali kweyongera mu Uganda ng'ate mwotadde Uganda eri mu nteekateeka y'okulaba nga efulumya emmotoka zaayo era nga tulaba kila plant eri mu bitundu by'e Busoga bagyomyemu mutwe era ng'erimu steadfast growth era nga waliwo ne buses ezimu eziri okutambula mu Kampala nga kira EV yezikola. Kitegeeza nti no Uganda kati esobola okwekolera emmotoka ezaayo oba esobola okwasembulinga emmotoka ezaayo.
The rise of the European and American politicians about security and stereotype about Uganda must therefore be aggressively encountered by providing the correct information through our friends in those countries and online internet to show the correct image of the country. You remember when our sinners, you remember the other suspected sinners, abantu bali bali mu Lowers nti bononyi, when they were going somewhere, me, I was not yet following what they were doing, but what excited me was the ADF trying to go and blow them up. Why do you want to blow up these sinners? God will take care of them. So I had to go full swing to defend the sinners munange. Nembazingira bonawo ejinja abasirikale bibali bakolera sibimanyi, but my job was whether sinner or holy person, they should not die from bombs of ADF. So then these people, the foreigners, started giving what they call advisories to their people. Don't go to Uganda. Oh, you man, why don't you just talk about your country? Huh? The Wanyankole say Chehuruza aterwa impimbi. If a man is fighting with his wife in the neighboring house, then you go there. You hear, you people, they can hit you with impimbi in their house. Why do you mind with the neighbors' houses? Hmm? Some of these Europeans are simply afraid of the potential that we have in our strategic areas, therefore want to undermine our unstoppable socio-economic transformation and that of Africa as a whole. Other measures to boost tourism receipts include activation of passage and cargo services at Kabarega International Park in Hoima, improvements in hotels' capacity and sanitation, and competitive pricing, professionalization and diversification of meetings, incentives, conferences and events, rapid increase in number of multilingual tour guides, including Swahili and Chinese languages, and expanded use of destination marketing agents. So you need to train more people who speak Chinese, who speak other languages. Like recently in this conference, I saw the vice president from Vietnam. She told me that they send out 13 million tourists a year. So you can imagine if we get 1 million Vietnamese. But does somebody speak Vietnamese language? So the sector people should train, even in our schools, train people who can speak these languages. Remittances of Ugandans working outside the country increased to US dollars 1.4 billion in financial year 2023, higher than 1.1 billion in 2021-2022. Uganda continued to register growth in foreign direct investment (FDI) inflows. FDI inflows increased by 68%. 68% in the financial year 2023, largely hinged on the development in the oil sector as Uganda prepares for its first oil. FDI inflows rose from US dollars 1.6 billion financial year 2022 to US dollars 2.8 billion in financial year 2022-2023. Formal employment has recovered from the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pay-as-you-earn register, katao omanyotya ntemirimu gyeyongedde. How do you know that jobs have increased? Mbategera ewa pay as you earn, because there you can't go wrong. Buli mukozi akola who is getting a salary above a certain level pays income tax, which is pay as you earn. And that one can help us to know which numbers. The pay-as-you-earn register expanded by 14.1% from 1.4 million employees in financial 21-22 to 1.6 million in 22-23 as follows. Uganda Development Bank loans to projects created 41,000 jobs, up from 24,000 jobs in 1920. Free Zones Authority created 9,000 jobs. PDM, 1.6 million members from 148,000 enterprise groups have so far benefited from the national rollout of the PDM. 1.6 million people have received the PDM money. Emyoga, 378,000 jobs were created by December 2022, rising from 338,000 in March 2022. Kigezi, Acholi, and Lango sub-regions registered the highest number of jobs created, while the central Uganda recorded the lowest number of direct jobs created. In Uganda, the youth need to be advised to focus. Waliwo abagomaza abaana baffe mu bintu ebirala bino empiira biki. You may find people in the other area, in the other young people are more guided towards wealth creation. Furthermore, the number of working Ugandans subscribing to at least one pension scheme increased by 2.2% from 2.9 million in 2021 to 3 million in 2022. The ones of NSSF, yonayo manyirayo abantu bameka abali mu mirimu gino gy'emisaala. how many people are being employed. You can tell from the NSSF also. The PDM is the NRM government initiative to spur growth from the bottom up and for transforming the population currently in subsistence to the money economy. The PDM is a pillar of number 5 of the NRM 10 points program to build an independent, integrated, and self-sustaining economy. To date, government has invested shillings 2.23 trillion in the financial inclusion pillar of this model, targeting all the 10,459 parishes across the country for job creation and increasing household incomes. Shillings 1 trillion has been successfully disbursed to 1 million households in 10,455 parishes out of the 10,585 circles across the country. The balance will soon be disbursed when the remaining beneficiaries meet the conditions successfully, is working successfully. Government is working to improve the PDM by improving the monitoring, operationalization of the other 6 pillars of PDM beyond the financial inclusion pillar. The streamlining all government program interventions and service delivery at the parish to ensure the realization of PDM. We are not going to relax on the PDM approach because it is really correct. Because there is no way you can say there is anything wrong with that approach. 100 million shillings per parish of Ugandans have been borrowing money from money lenders who are charging them 3% per month, which makes it 36% in a year, or even higher, I hear. So how can you say this money, where the interest rate is like 6% a year, has any problem? And we are saying that each one of you can borrow $1, 1 million shillings at a go, and you pay it after 24 months. We don't want you to pay it now. How can you say there is anything wrong with this? Ekiri mu nsiko bwe kirubwatuka ensi erikankana, omwana aliyita nyina, omukulu aliyita engozi. That was one of our songs in the bush that has always been the potential of NRM. When we were a students' movement, a liberation movement, and while in government. This saying says that what is hidden also out, if it comes out, when it explodes, the world will shake, children will shout for their mothers out of fright, etc., etc. That is what the NRM always does. Like when we captured Kampala in 1986, everybody didn't know that we had that capacity. The recent 2 mega conferences of NAM and G7 plus China demonstrated a little bit of this. A delegate from Russia, a deputy minister, told me that only the superpowers can organize such a conference. Uganda is still on the way, but it will soon be there because the base is already there. we shall really be a superpower, because we are moving towards that. There were 1,918 delegates in that conference. 1,918 delegates from 129 countries. 129 countries sent people here. 16 presidents, 9 vice presidents, 16 prime ministers, 7 special category people coming into Uganda by airlines, but also with 32 private jets. I thank the Ugandans for the discipline in receiving these visitors. These countries who are in the conference here have a population of 6.6 billion. This is 80% of the human race. More importantly, look at the facilities we built partly for this occasion, but also in order to improve the infrastructure of the country. Some of them built in 1 year. Look at the new terminal built by the UPDF Engineering Brigade. You can imagine that terminal was built by the UPDF Engineering Brigade. Yeah. Look at the conference center built by Sudi's company using government money. You show us Sudi's, the conference center. That was one of the delegates was asking, one of the presidents was saying, are these the Chinese who built this? We said, no. This was built by our local company. And that terminal, which the engineers brigade built, is there's nothing we cannot do. It is just a question of prioritization. Some people always talk about the potholes of Kampala. They should also talk about the good upcountry roads from Kisoro to Nimule, from Busia to Busunga in Bunduwijo. Those roads are there to the hinterland of the country, to the upcountry districts. Without corruption, we have the capacity to do everything. I've already instructed the engineering brigade to start preparing to build the standard gauge railway instead of only waiting for outsiders to do it. I thank you, and I wish you all peaceful celebrations. Thank you very much.
Remittance of Ugandans working outside the country increases to US $1,431.23 million in financial year 2022-2023, higher than the value of US registered in the 2022-2021. So, olabanga ne job creation, formal employment has recovered from the adverse effect of the COVID pandemic. The pay-as-you-earn register expanded by 14.1% from 1,422,857 employees in financial 2021-2022 to 1,624,072 in financial year 2022-2023. Olawanga, there is a steady development, steady growth. Wayogera ati tugenda kufuka ba superpower ekyo sekiwakanya. Wati weyagenze maaso ng'ayogera. Nkwebaza olw'okubeera ku Essential Media Uganda, nkwebaza olw'okuchuzinga osobola okulagira muno naye najja n'alaba ng'okilikinga share subscribe, like ate otekeko comment naawe oba olaba is Uganda ready to be a superpower like other countries nga America, France, Russia n'ensi endala zetulabye zikulaakulanya yeki ekifuula ensi superpower. Njagala comment yo mu comment section. Kusebulidde wano yenze Essential Katera yenze amata agatafa.
Without corruption, we have the capacity to do everything. I've already instructed the engineering brigade to start preparing to build the standard gauge railway instead of only waiting for outsiders to do it. I thank you and I wish you all peaceful celebrations. Thank you very much.